Hello everybody and welcome back to Typical City. Ian Maatsen is the latest name to be linked with Manchester City, an out-and-out left-back that really does excite me. I'm genuinely excited, more so than a lot of other transfer targets that we got linked with in the summer. This is because we have never had an out-and-out, certainly not in the last couple of decades. In my lifetime, I cannot think of an out-and-out left-back of the highest standard, and now considering we are treble winners, we're challenging on all fronts, having an out-and-out left-back that's his sole position, he is committed to that position, and being world-class at the same time. We haven't had one for an absolute age. You go all the way back to Kevin Keegan days and beyond that. I genuinely can't think of a left-back that has genuinely been of a high standard. I think the best left-back we've had in recent time, two of equal standard, different type of players, is probably Gael Clichy and Alexander Kolarov. And they both had their weaknesses. I don't think Gael Clichy was that good at going forward, but a brilliant one-on-one defender. Alexander Kolarov, going forward, a wand of a left foot, incredible set pieces, thunderbolts, fires them into the top corner. The amount of goals he got from free kicks was incredible. Defending, though, not so great. He'd drop a clanger once in a while. You can go back to Danny Tiatto, Nicholas Jensen, Javier Garrido, all these random left-back players that have never really lived up to their potential. And the reason why I'm excited about Ian Maatsen is because he really is on his way to becoming a superstar. He's a Dutch lad, and I can tell you right now, in the next year, 2 years, he's going to be starting for Holland. A quality player, 21 years old. Played it last season at Burnley, so Vincent Kompany might have had a say, had a little word. We do like to think Vincent Kompany's doing favours for City. I know he's a big City fan now and he's committed to City in his heart. But is he genuinely giving tips and tricks to Manchester City? I'm not so sure about this one. But Burnley put in a bid for him, a loan bid at the end of the transfer window just passed, which Chelsea agreed to loaning him out. He himself rejected it, so he does have his eyes set on bigger things now than Burnley, which, no disrespect to Burnley. Last season he was one of their best players. In fact, let's get his stats up from last season, because this is going to show you the complete package that he is. Both ends of the pitch, a solid left back. So last season, you can see how much they relied on him. 42 appearances, 3,552 minutes. Going forward, the guy's got a thunderbolt of a shot, just like I described with Alexander Kolarov, but defensive-wise, he's difficult to beat. And look at those defensive tackling averages per game. Over 2 tackles per game he was averaging, which is really good. And 1.4 average interceptions per game as well. Again, reading the game, really good. Going forward, 4 goals and 6 assists. The guy can finish as well. And these goals, by the way, were quality goals, set pieces, reading the game. Assists, moving forward with the ball, his ability, his positional sense looks really good, all at the age of 21 as well. So I genuinely believe if Chelsea aren't smart enough to sign this guy to a new contract, which ends at summer, next summer, his contract is over. He's yet to sign. This news has been brought to you by 90 Mins and the Evening Standard and the Express as well. So this is coming from numerous sources that he is yet to sign a new contract with Chelsea. And as a result, City are waiting in the wings, ready to swoop in for Ian Maatsen. And this one really does excite me, because if you look at what we've currently got, we've got quality players that can play left back, but we don't really have an out-and-out left-back. Even Sergio Gomez was brought in to be that left-back. He's not good enough at defending. Going forward, we saw him come onto the pitch and play in the wing position against Fulham, and he was brilliant. In a little 15-minute cameo, he was brilliant. Everything he did looked cool, composed, and very technical. Got himself an assist for Haaland's hat-trick as well. So I like what Sergio Gomez offers for squad depth and his ability to play on the wing. I don't ever want to see him play left back, because I've seen about 10-15 performances from him, none of which convinced me that he is good enough to defend. Ian Maatsen's the polar opposite. This guy loves to tackle. He enjoys the defensive side of the game. He enjoys going forward as well. He owns that left side of the pitch. This season, obviously now at Chelsea, he's stepping in front of Marc Cucurella. £60 million Marc Cucurella. He's ahead of him. Okay, he's going to be behind Ben Chilwell purely because of his experience. Ben Chilwell is a quality left back. He's exactly the same. Can do both ends of the pitch. I think Ben Chilwell is one of Chelsea's most reliable players. that brings quality to 7, 8 out of 10 every week. Ian Maatsen's right behind him, and he's ready to pounce should Ben Chilwell, likely he gets injured a lot as well, so his minutes could go up. He's currently got 26 minutes to his name at Chelsea, so it wasn't really worth me putting in his stats for this season on a graphic for you. But in terms of this season, he's got 26 minutes with 3 Premier League appearances and 90 minutes in a full League Cup game, which he played attacking midfield, which is another point that adds to the reason why Pep might have an eye on this lad, because of the versatility that he's got. Left wing, left back, and now attacking midfield. Maurizio Pochettino is, I guarantee you, he's going to be in his ear now saying that he clearly likes the lad. The reason Chelsea attempted to sell him, though, was to even out the books. It was not. I don't think the idea was to get rid of the player because he's not a good enough player. It was purely to get him off the books for at least another season with a £31.5 million buy option at the end of his loan, and he was going back to Burnley, but he's rejected that. He obviously sees himself doing more things at Chelsea. But it's everything. He's got the full package. And for me, I think we should be keeping an eye on this one because... Who's your favourite left-back historically at Manchester City? Who's your favourite left-back? Right now we've got Ake and Gvardiol, and I feel more than comfortable with that. But going back to, if we ever went to a traditional back four that doesn't invert at any point, with a full-back tucking inside, because quite often this back four ends up a lot of the time being a back three. It starts the game as a back four when the kick-off, the shape's there as a back four. But we have so much of the ball that one of the fullbacks is normally inverting, or Kyle Walker. Alternatively, Kyle Walker's finding himself much far further forward and being more of a wide player. Kyle Walker. Could we see Gvardiol tucking inside? Is Gvardiol happy being an out-and-out left-back? I know he considers himself to be a centre-back. He said it himself. He wants to be a centre-back. So, out-and-out left-backs, we don't have many of them. Who is your favourite left-back at Manchester City, historically? Because I think this guy can fit the bill. I really think he can fit the bill, and it's the fact that he's got both ends of the game that really excites me. Are Chelsea going to snap him up, though? The fact that Chelsea are keeping it close now and he's getting more minutes, he probably sees himself as maybe has a future at Chelsea. But if City come in now out of City and Chelsea, who are you prioritising? Who do you see as where your career could really flourish and get trophies as well? In terms of minutes, he's probably got more of a chance at Chelsea, but in terms of trophies going forward, there's no signs of Chelsea improving to the standard of City right now in terms of getting trebles and doubles and things like that. Of multiple trophies are going to be rolling in with Pep Guardiola there. It's almost a given. You're guaranteed trophies now. So the guy's got experience, and the fact that both ends of his game is there for all to see, with Burnley, Coventry and Charlton, spells in the Championship where it's a bit dirty and gritty down there. The tackles come flying in much harder than they do in the Premier League. You need to learn the defensive side of the game. There's no luxury players in the Championship. You can't be one of these left backs like Cancelo, for example, who can just be an amazing player going forward, but don't ask him to defend. Sergio Gomez, again, don't ask him to defend. You put those type of players in the Championship and they're exposed. Ian Maatsen was never exposed. He showed what he's all about, that he has the grit and determination to defend as well as go forward and get goals and assists, as you can see. So really good player. I hope this has some truth to it. I hope City can persuade the lad to join up, and I really believe that he could be an answer to an area of the pitch that we've never really resolved ever. And we've resolved it with tweaks and square pegs in round holes, and they've often worked, and Pep's worked his magic and made that position part of the pitch look good. Zinchenko was another one that I thought was good, but he was more of a defense. He ends up tucking inside a little bit. I think Zinchenko's had a good spell with City as well, but never really committed to that left-back position. He was moulded into that position rather than... your whole career has been a left-back. Zinchenko's, you're playing for Ukraine, he plays centre midfield a lot of the time, so I don't know. In terms of left-backs, this lad excites me, really does. But does he excite you? Get your comments in below. I'd love to hear them. Like and subscribe. Typical City is the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.
This is Typical City now, holding up silver.